So, hi everyone. My name is Patrick, and I'm here today with another live stream. I feel like I'm becoming a YouTuber because I'm streaming all the time, but there's so much exciting stuff going on, so I kind of have to, right? And today we're talking again about Project Catalyst and about a few Catalyst proposals. This time, for the very first time, a Catalyst proposal that I'm actually very involved in. But I thought, okay, maybe it's boring if I'm just sitting here and I'm just talking about the Catalyst proposal myself. And it's a partnership between four different companies actually. So I brought a guest, and his name is Tim. I'm gonna bring up Tim to the main screen. Hello, Tim. How are
Hi,
you today?
Patrick. How's it going? Everything fine? Thanks for the meeting, more or less.
Yeah, it feels like a meeting, but it's very good to see you. So Tim, most people here don't really know you yet. So I think it just makes sense for you to give us a very quick introduction. Like, who are you? How did you get into Cardano? How did you get into crypto? It's just something about you.
Okay, I try to do it in a nutshell. It's my background is I'm Tim. I'm the co-founder of IMX and Finance, together with Patrick, Matteo from Fluid, and we're very happy to start our journey tokenizing. And I'm very happy, Patrick, and I'm always very thankful that you have been one of our first supporter from IMX. And I think we know each other since 2.5 or 3 years now. And I'm coming to crypto like a lot of people, collecting Satoshis. First the Satoshi, then we came to Bitcoin, and then you find out there's something useful with crypto, not collecting it. And that was when I set up a pool with a friend of mine. I'm not a tech guy, you know that. And my good friend, climbing partner, Jochen, he set up a pool, and then I dived into Cardano, and I can't stop. So this is the best blockchain, and I'm not a maxi. The world is not flat. I know that, but Cardano is something beautiful to build on, and I found a lot of really, really nice people in the community, and I'm very happy to be here and build in public.
Wonderful, perfect introduction. So, you mentioned we'll do it very like step by step. So you mentioned you're the co-founder of a company called IMX, right? And of course, when you're in Cardano, you see the name IMX many times, especially on Twitter. But I think most people don't really know yet what IMX actually does. So can you give us a quick like introduction into the core business of what IMX does?
Yes, I think in the beginning when we dived into Cardano because we thought, okay, blockchain can cure problems with another company. We have 15 years of telecommunication in our track record, and due to scam and fraudful invoices, we thought, okay, there must be a solution with around the identity. And then we got lost because identity is so big that you don't know where to start. And we started talking to, for me, one of the masterminds of self-sovereign identity, which is Drum and Reed. And we had a long call with him where he explained us, what's the topic, why identity. And we read a lot of books. We really dived a half a year reading what's identity. Try to build up there something, where we say, okay, this is identity, and how to get people on board. And then something happened. A bank reached out, and this bank asked us, can you do onboarding via KYC? And then we found out, wow, this is it. We have to onboard people from Web2 with Web2 verified tools to bring them into Web3. And I think when we have this done, then the world will be a little bit more decentralized, because then you can take care about and you can manage your identity. And this is something very important. But it starts, all the identity process, I think, or we think as IMX, it starts with verifying who is in front of you. So I think that's the last sentence here. I think if we have a chat like this in 10 years, we will first connect our wallet, which is an identity wallet, cryptographically built, blah, blah. We all know this tech stuff, but that will, we will just click on it, connect wallet, and now Patrick knows it's me. it's not someone else who said, okay, we do rocket science, make scam, like an interview can also be scam and manipulate, like token value or something. So I think identity is always, when you look at a lot of things, especially in Web3 and for decentralization, first building block is identity.
Wonderful. I completely agree, of course. I think identity is at the core of everything. And to summarize what you just said, essentially, you just said, okay, you're a KYC provider, but you're not only a regular KYC provider, but you're connecting it with this onboarding to Web3 kind of part. And you talked about identity wallets. So storing your identity in an identity wallet and using that to connect to decentralized applications. So you as the user have control over your identity, and you can say, okay, I want to share it with this app, I want to share it with this app, but I don't want to just share it with everyone, right? So it's all about...
We develop more like onboarding solutions. So you can onboard with a single sign-on. You have reasons to do it like this. You can onboard completely anonymous with, whatever you like to have with your avatar. Perhaps, Patrick is called Padierfint on Twitter. So this is one of his identity, one of your identities. I'm Tim X Bridge because it's my last name start with Bridge in German. So, this is my avatar, but, I can also use something like Spider-Man because I like Spider-Man and I log into the web. That's all identity. So identity is not always KYC. We deliver like an onboarding solution, and the highest possibility to onboard is like a legally compliant onboarding where we have to check, is this guy legit? Does he exist? Where does the money come from? Because what nobody likes is always endmaker. If people claim a lot of money, they do good projects, and finally you find out, oh, this money is coming from really bad sources. So it's black money, it's criminal money, it's, you don't like perhaps this money. And this is very important. If you look at the laws on every country in the world, they're very anxious that crypto is a place where the bad malicious player will store their money. And so if this is sorted out in the next 3 years, I think the adoption of crypto will be 10x, 100x faster, because then we can really move things without the unknown space now of, or a little bit, a very difficult space of what's financial market compliance. So this is the problem we're also facing with finance, So the onboarding and the regulated market in Germany, or in Europe, we have MiCA, markets in crypto assets, which give us a guideline, but the guideline is a guideline only. It's no one takes your hand and brings you to the goal, So we have to explore a lot there, and we explore, and finally we found some possibilities.
Yes, and I think that's a very, very good, next topic to talk about. Obviously, Finest, right? I'm going to bring up the proposal, but Finest is a joint venture between IMX, Endmaker, and Fluid Tokens, right? So IMX for the compliance part, Endmaker for the tokenization infrastructure, and then Fluid Tokens, of course, for all the DeFi infrastructure and for actually building the smart contracts that we're using. So I think it's a very, very cool joint venture, and we've been working on it very hard behind the scenes. The plan is to onboard real-world assets to Cardano in a compliant manner and just make them more accessible to everyone. But I'll let you answer this maybe. So just tell us a little bit about tokenization. Why do you think tokenization is so important for the future, and what can it bring to the table?
A lot of people, I think, know, tokenization is you get tokens, you trade them, and you get rich overnight. That's tokenization, a lot of eyes of people. But we have to look at really the facts. Why is it really? Do we need it really? Or is it just another blockchain dream of, hey, we can also solve it with blockchain, but we don't need it actually, but we put the blockchain in? No, this tokenization also is just possible with blockchain technology. So for me, there is two very, very big facts why tokenization is so important. First of all, is we like to democratize like investments. So there are stocks and there are a lot of values in the world, like big hotels, big buildings, real estate, one of the biggest asset class in the world. If I'm a small student, I can't invest in real estate because I simply don't have the money in the beginning of my life. So, but I have always 500 euro perhaps left over, and I like to invest in these markets where I'm, where I'm very good informed. So let's take it on real estate. So enabling a student to also invest in the big money market of real estate is something great. There are also stocks where one stock is 1 million, or sorry, 500,000. I was always counting in ADA. It's around 500,000 euro. And I don't know a lot of people who can, afford this stock. But and what's very nice, the stock goes just up like this since 20 years. I like to join, but I can't. This is what we also can handle with tokenization, to tokenize these stocks and make it accessible for everybody. The second point is, for me, the increased liquidity. Tokenization can transform also illicit assets, like if you look at fine art, buying is quite easy if you have money, but selling it is a huge problem. If you have a Picasso on the wall, which is 5 million euro, a lot of people like to buy it, and when you resell, they profit, but they don't like to invest 5 million. They like to split the investments. So if I like to sell my Picasso, I would do it with tokenization, because it's first half is sold in the first 10 minutes because people looking, what is a new investment possibility. So it's not always buying, it helps people selling stuff. And I think when we come to selling stuff from real estate or fine arts, where you really make it in small shares and sell it, this is something, I think it's a revolution. And speaking of selling something, which is, buying is always easier than selling, it's the same with funding a company. Funding a company is not easy. And this is where we are with our proposal, that we also can tokenize companies.
Yes. So I to summarize it, essentially, it's mostly about giving people access to investment opportunities that they previously didn't have access to, right? I can invest with $100 into real estate. I can invest into stocks, maybe in different countries. I'm in India right now. It would be amazing to be able to buy stocks of an Indian company on Cardano, right, and hold it in my normal crypto wallet. So it's really about access, and it's also about efficiency, making everything on chain, bringing everything on chain, and creating like integrations with DeFi applications and all this kind of stuff that we are used to with meme coins and so on. But the tools are so powerful, we could just use it for real assets, and basically use the same existing tools for that to really just make the whole market more efficient and more fluid, I think. Also, why fluid tokens is called fluid tokens. But yeah, so let's talk about the proposal a little bit. Maybe let me summarize where we are with Finest right now. Right now, we are at a point where the platform of Finest is essentially done. We can launch it very soon, and we're working our way through like some last legalities, and then we will be able to issue the first real world assets. And now we essentially say, okay, we want to really push this, and we really want to bring some amazing real world assets to Cardano. And for that, we need capital, because it's really expensive. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about it, but we have to file a lot of stuff, and we have to pay a lot of people from a legal perspective to be able to issue even one asset, right? It's very expensive and very costly. So we need to be able to fund it, and we want to really push this to the next level. And for that, we have partnered with a company called Chartered Investment. And maybe Tim, you can tell us a little bit more about that. Like who is Chartered Investment, and how how are we using them to bring real world assets to Cardano?
So Chartered Investment is the international company who are on one side asset manager, and on the other one they finance big investments. So they help people to get an investment together, and we use them, or we work with them, we collaborate with them because they give us a lot of knowledge, but they also help us with the legal paper we need to inform the BaFin that how we work is legit, is compliant regarding the laws of the financial markets. And we do it here in Europe.
Who is the BaFin for everyone who is not from Europe?
Okay, yes. The BaFin is the German SEC. Let's say it like this. It's not 100% right, but that helps you. It's 80% right. They work a little bit different. Here in Germany, we have the BaFin. In Switzerland, we have the FINMA, but you can both say it's the SEC. And every country in Europe has like their own SEC. And what's very nice in Europe, I like to point this out, Patrick, for a second, that in Europe, or compared like with the US. In US, you have to make your offer compliant with every single state, which is a lot of work. In Europe, you can do it within one country, get the approval, and then we have the so-called passport rule that every other company, every other country has to accept the way you do it. And as Germany is quite high in GDPR, there are a lot of problems with traceability on a lot of crypto projects, this is GDPR is in Germany like that's the hammer. It's very tough to go around it, and that made us a lot of problems. Traceability is really, it's not GDPR conform, and we see in a lot of projects they don't work with this, so they can't launch in Europe, and we will launch with a German law, and then can really do it in complete EU, which is the European Union. This is something very special and why we are not founded in Switzerland. Like for everybody to remind, Switzerland is in the middle of Europe, but it's not part of the European Union. And like Norway is also not part of the European. So people have to look where they get their license to be able to start in whole Europe. And this is something I think what MiCA has, the MiCA law brought to us. It's very positive. It helps us a lot to know the way. We have to walk the way ourselves, but we know the way.
Yes, absolutely. So so tell me maybe in a few sentences, why is this catalyst proposal so important? What can it actually bring to Cardano?
First of all, Patrick, I think it's also a little bit nice info, a little bit entertaining. How we get together, because we already had one proposal. It's going very well. We deliver all the milestones now. We're on track. And this is part 2, what we are doing now. And it's very important to build this on part 1, because it's not possible without the platform we built already. And the guy who brought us all together is Patrick. Big surprise. We all had Fluid, and NMaker and IMX had a proposal in Fund 11. And what I really love from Patrick is, and I have to talk, Patrick, please don't get red. You are so supportive to everyone in the Cardano community that you called me and said, Tim, your proposal is nice, but there are two, one of me and one of our friends from Fluid. Should we do it together? And that was for me, okay, if someone asks to do it together and it's a guy like Patrick, yes, for sure. So it is not like a single entity is grinding the way to get BaFin compliant tokenization. No, it's 3 companies, and that is something very nice. And you are the architect of this, Patrick. And that's this. Yeah, I like to have to give you the shout out that everybody knows this, that we really grind it together. It's always not easy to get first 3 companies together and get a workflow done. That it's not this easy like to do it in your own company where you say your stuff, do, run, don't think, this is the order. If you have 3 people, you have to discuss a little bit more. And I think we do it very, very nice. And everybody has fun in this project. But now I come to the question, what's so important with this proposal? When we looked at what should we tokenize first, and we have some nice things which I don't like to say today because I think that is part for another call perhaps. But what is nice, when you think about what we can tokenize is commodities, there are people already doing it on Cardano, really nice. And we said, okay, if I fund a company with a brilliant idea, this is, I think, the highest value ever. Look at small companies like Apple. There was building in a garage. Imagine they tokenized their company and everyone is a shareholder. This is perfect. So if you see, or if you, are a founder, we see, okay, what should I do? Kickstart my project. So like searching for investors or make crowdfunding. This is ineffective. A tokenization guild is very effective to bring money to you because you can bound contracts with it, So you get all your share or your whole company is a token. You bring value, you get revenue streams in the company. So your token will go up because people say, okay, I need more tokens of this. The price, the value goes up. So this is something where you can fund a company and your investors can be very, very fast in investing in getting into your project, and not with crowdfunding where very often the money is just gone. No, you earn equity. So this is the reason why we call it TEO, tokenized equity offering, which is something brand new. Nobody did it till now. And this is very cool for startups on Cardano also. I think if we look at the past of Cardano, we had a brilliant funding mechanism called ISPO, the initial stake pool offering. Great, the stake pools were not built for this, but people found out, hey, that's a perfect way to found my company. And we are going in this Cardano way. We take the journey and follow the way. And we say, okay, a token is not equity. What our investors like, because they know us and saying, okay, that's a good founding, good entrepreneurs, good founders. We like to have directly equity of them. And to have equity for a Swiss company, German company, or wherever you are, your investors have to travel there. Always, if you change something, always it's a flight to there. And big investors, they have everything, but no time. So to offer your companies equity in tokens, this is the next revolution we build. It's brilliant. And I hope, and I will do it, if I found the next company, I will tokenize it 100% from the beginning.
I completely agree. And, I want to tokenize NMaker at some point, the company, the actual company behind NMaker. I think that would be brilliant. But
and
we're not
I would
there
be a
yet.
whale, I swear.
I'm looking forward to that. But we're not there yet. So it's coming. And what we need to get there is, this catalyst proposal. It's currently in the real world impact and partnerships category. And there's only 12 proposals in there, and it's highly competitive. Our finest investments proposal is actually one of the proposals which requested the least amount that you could request. So it's very low from what it's asking, but I think the impact will be extremely high.
Perhaps we explain people why
Yes.
we don't go to the max. We already built version 1, but we built part 2. Thanks to everybody who voted us on Catalyst. And this, we used the funds very efficient. We had to pay already to different partners like lawyers, consulting, because it's really, really a grind to be compliant with the financial markets. Now, where this is solved, with funds we already received, we see this as part 2, that we really don't look like a cash grab, that people say, wow, they go for the max, We are no cash grab. And this is super important for me because I'm a very critic and loud voice, that please look at all proposals before you vote, and we like to build up, and perhaps there's a next catalyst round where we say, we have a new idea. What else can we build with finance? We will never, ever do the max. I think that is for we are not starters, so to take the max is not nice. So this, we are a very small funding, and we needed also not that Patrick and me have the nicest holidays ever and fly there with our own helicopter together with Charles, but we are the pilots. We paid the pilots. No, that will not happen. It is because if you work with the government and you like to have the approved stamps, you have to pay. We know that how we build is compliant because, we work with lawyers like MME in Switzerland and a lot of smart minds. But finally, it has to be approved. We have to explain the BaFin what we built. We have to explain the people who are consulting BaFin. So it's a lot of people we need to pay, not just, the devs who are building and doing marketing and everything. It's most of it goes to external parties, like you can see in the proposal.
Exactly. And I want to get to a point with this proposal for now, because we've already been talking for a while. So first of all, thank you to everyone who has been watching, almost 230 people already. If you're interested in this proposal, if you want to support the work that we're doing with tokenization, real world assets, and so on, and with Finest, please consider voting for it. I think it would be one of the most impactful proposals we, as a group, have put forward together with Chartered Investment and Fluid Tokens and IMAX and NMaker. So 4 amazing companies coming together to build this. I think let's now remove the screen and let's talk about, for maybe 1 or 2 minutes about one last topic after this, because you have a few more other proposals in there, and I think one is really worth highlighting. So we're gonna put that on the screen in a second. So yeah, just quickly, no more Finest.
Yes.
Now walk us through this proposal. Who
So
is
we started our journey here with that we informed you. We think that identity is building block 1. So if you have in the middle, of the universe, you have the core star, which is identity, and around it we built a lot of satellites. One of these satellites onboarding to Finest, that's also very important. One will be, or we hope it will be, because we grinded this 2 years ago. There's a big company here in Germany called Klü Group. It's a multi-service group. They are, working on airports. They are working in their own hospitals, their own concert halls and stadiums here in Germany. So it's a big company, and everybody, I think, especially who visits the last Cardano summit in Dubai, knows they do the maintenance of Burj Khalifa Hotel since the start, and they are a market leader in this maintenance. So we call it hidden champions. It's the world market leader, but nobody knows the name. So it's not a Coca-Cola, everybody knows the name. And we develop and I just made a tweet about, because it's really not easy to explain. We informed them what is a cryptographic wallet, and that a cryptographic wallet is a new layer. It's not the internet, it's a layer on the internet. And our philosophy is we work very wallet centric. We like to store your credentials and your personal data, like your identity, only in your wallet. We don't need any silo, no matter what name it carries. We like to have it in my wallet like we have it in Web 2 on the real world. We like to have the identity in our wallet. And from there on, we can onboard people to Klü. So the human research can onboard the people to the company and give them assessment rights. So Klü is guarding the German army. Klü is guarding Boeing companies. So highly, it has to be guarded. We have terrorism in the world, and people have to look at it. And so imagine like a cleaning guy can enter the building and can enter the canteen, but can't enter the area where you can grab your weapon. Armed stuff can enter the main building, it can enter the canteen, but when he likes to enter the weapon room First check is, did he train on the weapon like we have the laws here in Germany? Has he uploaded this credential in his wallet? If yes, the door opens. This is something very nice because our onboarding procedure has the highest quality in data. And that's what Clue don't have with any other technology in the world. And when I was talking to Cardano Foundation C-level, and I explained this proposal, they said, okay, Tim, this is great. What about there will be a safety concept? We say, yes. I said, okay, we like to have it. This is a blueprint. And then I opened my eyes and say, wow, this is not just for us what we built. This is for whole Cardano, because if we have a security blueprint, then we can also onboard with Clue ticketing companies. So big up to my friends in India, Nucast, Charan. This is something where we, they have a ticketing, with Patrick, they developed with Patrick, the ticketing system. And, imagine you have a partner who owns stadiums and, concert halls and stuff like that. We can use it also, and we can sell, or Cardano can propose this blueprint, the Cardano Foundation, to all security companies in the world. And this is something really magic. And there's one last thing, there's a USP, Patrick, I like to visit Patrick now. And I can't enter because he's in a traffic jam. He can delegate the assessment to me, just saying, okay, Tim, you have to make a short, small KYC with your biometric data, and then the door opens if you look in your mobile phone in front of my door, because the geocaching, will really help you. The geolocation will really help you to know I'm at front of the door, I'm Tim, and I'm alive. Yeah. So this is where the tricky part comes, and we solved it. And so if we get funded, it's also, the fund is, a lot of money will go to safety concepts. Again, Germany, we need the stamps, and then you can work. And yeah, we have to do a lot of tests there, a lot of tests. And yeah, this is a Cardano project, not for IMX only, it will be for everyone. And if we get funded, the first guy I talk to will be Charan from Newcast, to help him to make his ticketing system working in Germany. That would be perfect,
Wonderful. Great summary. So let me remove it from the screen. 1 second. Yeah, so I think we're already at the end. As I always say, it's essentially this is an offering to the Cardano community. We say, okay, we can build this, we can bring this to the table, be it Clue or be it Finest, and we inform you about it, and then you can make a choice. Okay, do you want to see this on Cardano or not, right? And if you want to see it on Cardano, you can vote for it right now in the Project Catalyst voting app. And if you don't want to see it on Cardano, then don't vote for it. It's a very clear offering, I would say. So voting is live right now, and I think we're going to end it here because we're already at 35 minutes. So, Tim, if you have any
last thing,
words, yes, go
just
ahead.
last thing, if anything unclear what we told you, we will post it on Twitter, this video on X, and yeah, all your questions are very welcome. So just post it on X. If you hate the project, please post it. If you don't like it, please post it. We will help you that you love it, because it's amazing what we're building here. I just tell you, it's not a cash grab. It's really something for Cardano, for the community. And, with some proposals, I miss it, but I had my tears already dry again.
Wonderful. Great. Then thank you so much, Tim, for joining me here and explaining this all. And thank you to everyone who has been watching. We have 250 concurrent viewers, which is amazing. So thank you for this. And then
thanks a lot.
See you until